Hey guys, I'm Tim Warren. I'm CEO at Helium SEO. I'm one of the co-founders here. Myself and Paul DeMott are the two founders. We started this company about 8 years ago. We work with A.O. Smith, Ream, PetSmart, Honeywell, some of the biggest companies in the world. If you clicked the video before that sent you here, in this video we're going to talk about why SEO and SEM and billboards and bus wraps are not your problem. Your problem are the 5 Ps of marketing and the go-to-market strategy that most business owners are never taught. A lot of marketers are never taught. Huge companies have dedicated people for that, but come on in with me. Let's go into our headquarters. Let's whiteboard this out. I think you're going to learn a lot. So let's jump in. So if you're like me, you probably started a business, didn't have any really professional business training. I was a med student, was in med school, decided I didn't want to be a surgeon. Was like, man, the lifestyle of a surgeon sucks, super bad. So I got into entrepreneurship. But I didn't have marketing classes. I had not taken economics. I didn't know any of the theory of go-to-market. So when we started the company, when I started my first business, I didn't know any of this stuff. So I thought the first thing you do is you sell, which is what we did, and then you advertise and you market and you get your name out there and you try to do all that stuff. But I never learned these core fundamentals. And so no matter what I did, we always would hit the ceiling. We would hit a ceiling because I didn't really understand these 5. So in this video, let's dive into those in detail. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, I'm Tim Warren, the CEO here at Helium SEO. We do the SEO for many large companies like Honeywell, PetSmart, Lenovo, A.O. Smith, Ream, and lots of big companies you've probably heard of, lots of really small and mid-sized businesses you may not have. We're one of the largest SEO firms in the US. We're also a Google Premier partner. We've done about $102 million in Google paid ads over the last 8 years. So we've really gotten to see what works for businesses and what doesn't. If you click the link to get into this video from Meta, you know that the purpose of the video is for my story. We were selling, we were marketing, but we just weren't growing enough. And it's because I didn't know the 5 Ps of marketing and the 5 Ps of the go-to-market strategy. So if you're in my same boat where it's like, man, we're marketing, we're selling, we're trying to grow, it's not working, I need, people are saying I need more SEO, or I need more ads, or I need meta, or I need an audience, or I need a personal brand. I think this video is going to be really helpful for you because it's going to unlock how you really grow and how you really go to market. All right, so let's jump in. The 5 Ps of marketing. So you probably have heard the 4 Ps of marketing, maybe you haven't. There's a 5th P that we're going to talk about. But the first one is price. All right, this may sound really simple, but one of the first things that business owners don't get right is they don't actually know how much they should charge. So how should you price your product? So if you're BMW, they have buyers that are looking at Mercedes, they're looking at Lexus, they're looking at all these other ones. They have literally teams dedicated to figuring out how much people can pay and the consumer price index and what is credit card debt at, and they're analyzing those kind of things so they know where to price the product and how likely it is to sell. If you're like me, most business owners, you just don't have that level of resource. You don't have dedicated teams figuring out your exact pricing, okay? So one of the first things that's really key to master is to get your price down. I would encourage you when you're thinking about price, not to say, how many deals can I close? Let me price this thing so I close the most sales. Alex Hormozi, you've probably seen him, Breathe Right Strips, really buff guy. He talks about it's better to close fewer deals and price things to make you the most money, because making money is the goal of most businesses, right? So you try to make more money. So set your price where you make the most cash. There's a part of this, which we're not going to talk about right here in this video. There's a thing called money models. It's a thing called money models. Money models are how businesses make money, okay? Alex Hormozi wrote a whole book. I can link it in the description below. $100 million leads, $100 million offers, and then $100 million money models. What money models are is they are the way you get people into your business, how they pay you over time, upsells, downsells, cross-sells. So let's say you're an HVAC company. Your money model might be, hey, for $99, we'll do your yearly inspection plan. We'll come in and do your yearly inspection. And if you have our $99 plan, we'll give you half off your first annual maintenance or something like that. That's a money model, okay? So while the $99 service call might lose you money, you make money on people calling you back, using you for service, using you to service their HVAC, using you for their plumbing. So it's a way that you can make money, right? But you have to know how to price it, okay? So here's my first thing on price. Analyze, go online, secret shop your competitors and find out what their prices are. One thing that a lot of business owners don't do enough of is secret shop. You can have like your spouse or a friend or coworker or whatever, go in and secret shop the competitors, see what they're charging. And here's my biggest encouragement. Don't try to be industry average, okay? So many people are like, well, we're the industry average. This is how it's done. Industry average is how it's done, okay? But everybody in the industry is probably not making as much money as they want, not growing as fast as they want, right? But then there's the outliers, the people who are doing it really different, and those people are making a lot more money. So you want to be different and you want to be creative and you want to be thinking about how can I break the average and be unique, be in the top 10%, 1%, not be average in my industry, okay? So the first thing when you go to market, you got to really get right is your price. All right, so the second one you need to think about, so we have price. Number 2 is product. Product, okay? One of the biggest things when going to market, you want to be thinking about is what is my product? This can also be service, right? So Helium's a service business, but we do have like SaaS products. You want to be thinking about product or service. What is the pain that we fill? Who are the people that we sell to? What are they looking for, right? You're thinking about pricing that product. And then you want to think about your product as a whole in the market. Who is buying this, okay? So let's say you sell HVAC systems. Let's say you sell Train, which is a high-end brand, okay? The product or service you're selling, you now have to think about the customer base that's going to appeal to, and that will also influence price, right? These all go together. So it's like, oh, okay, trains are $18,000 for a train, okay? Well, if I'm going to sell it, I probably need to think about what's the product they want to buy. Well, they want to buy Train, but someone with a Train probably has a bigger house, a nicer house. They might want 2 trains. Maybe you could think about with your product, hey, we have a buy one, get one free because for this specific product, people have bigger homes, they make more money, they usually have to buy 2 at a time, okay? So you want to be thinking about the product itself or the service, who buys it, and then product is one of these 5 go-to-market strategies. You can even lead with product, which is what Elon Musk does. Elon Musk basically spends very little on marketing because he creates these really unique products like Cybertrucks that are so unique, people talk about them, they share them because of the product itself, okay? That's another go-to-market strategy if you can really make the product really unique. All right, let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is a really important one, and this is one that a lot of businesses miss. I missed for a long time, and it changes the game once you know what it is. Promotion. All right, what is promotion? Promotions are how do you get people in the door with a special offer, a special price, a special coupon. There's a ton of these, okay? So you can do sweepstakes, you can do giveaways, you can do temporary discounts. I'm gonna give you guys a couple different ideas. So in one of Hormozi's books, he talks about there's a tanning salon, and the tanning salon, the guy owned a chain of them, and they'd market the tanning salon. Their normal pricing was $19.99, unlimited tanning per month, right? So you can go and get super dark and super tan and like ultra cooked. Sweet. All right, so $19.99. But they tried marketing that and it didn't do super well. So they came up with a promotion. They said $5 for 5 days of unlimited tanning. So people see the $5 and they're like, oh, $5, yeah, I want to get tan for this wedding, or maybe you're a bridesmaid in a bridal shower or whatever, and you want to look good for the pictures or prom or whatever. And maybe it's people who don't have as much money. So they see the $5 and they come in, they're like, this is great. So people would cut out the coupon, they come in, they'd be like, oh, or they come with their phones, hey, I saw the $5 for 5 days, right? This was a promotion, okay? Now the company doesn't make money on the $5 for 5 days. In fact, what is that, like a 75% discount off the normal rate? Because normally $20, there's $5, so it's like literally, 75% off, okay? Here's how they made money though, and here's the purpose of the promotion. They would ask people and say, oh, cool, well, how dark do you want to get? How tan do you want to get? And they would usually have like a chart they could point to, like, I want to get that tan. Like, okay, well, today you're here, and how often do you plan to tan? They're gonna, oh, I want to come in every day. They're like, oh, okay, well, if you come in every day, you're actually probably gonna burn, because if you come in and you go for more than like 20 minutes a day, you're gonna burn, and they could like boil, and it could be really bad. They're like, oh, snap. They're like, oh, well, can I just tan like 3 days and tan for like an hour? And then they would say, oh, what happens, you ever cooked a Thanksgiving turkey? They're like, yeah, right. What happens if you try to cook it in half the time and double the heat? Oh, it's freezing on the inside and completely scorched on the outside? Yeah, exactly. That's what would happen to you as well too if you try to go for fewer times and go for an hour. Oh, I see. Oh, frick. So then what the salesperson would do is, okay, no worries. Here's what we can do. Come in, at least have a day in between tanning. Come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, get your tan, but you're gonna need probably 7 sessions. So those will be 3, and then just give 4 day passes and you'll be good to go. And they're like, oh, okay, how much is a day pass? It's $25 for a day pass. So they're doing the math in their head and they're like, all right, that's 4 day passes, that's $100. Then I have this, that's $105. So they're doing the math, and then the salesperson who's smart says, well, hey, our unlimited tanning is $19.99. Why don't you just buy that and tan as much as you want for as long as you want, and it's month to month, so whenever you don't want to tan anymore, just cancel. And they're like, oh, that's way cheaper than this. Yeah, sign me up for that, I want to do it. Okay. Now here's what's so brilliant about that strategy. If they advertise $19.99, right, doesn't do very well. When they advertise 5 tans, 5 unlimited days for $5, people see the $5 and they come in. But their promotion is meant to get them in to the money model, okay, of the upsell for the $19.99 unlimited tanning, okay? Now, for their model, if you guys ever know this, their goal is to get them on credit card, automatic billing, and people forget to turn that stuff off. I know I think I paid for Amazon web hosting for like 6 years for a domain I didn't even use anymore. Stuff gets on there and you just forget to cancel. It just keeps billing you. So the power they're looking for at the tanning salon is they're trying to get people onto the credit card. They forget about it and they go for like 9 months, okay? That's how they really make their money. So the $5, that promotion drives them tons of profit and revenue because people forget about it and they ultimately upsell to this because they see the value in it, okay? Let's talk about promotions for your business. So you're a service company, okay? You're a product company. You're B2B, you do consulting, whatever it is, okay? Promotion is super important because promotion is how you're going to convince people to be interested in what you do, right? That breaks through all the noise, okay? I was on a call recently at our company, and that we have a credit union that we service. The credit union, right? And so their sales have been flat. And so I asked the account manager and I said, what promotion are they running, right? And he said, oh, they're really trying to sell HELOCs. And I said, well, what's the rate on HELOCs right now? It's like, up 7%. What's the rate on their HELOCs? He's like, I don't know, but probably market average. I was like, yeah, that's why sales are flat. Because if someone drives past and sees a credit union is like 7% market rate HELOC, they're like, it's milk toast, right? If you don't know what milk toast means, it's like super bland, right? It's like toast and banana, like nothing on it. It's like really bland. It's like, that's okay, right? Or someone hands you a bag of Doritos and you're like, oh, sweet, right? The hyper palatable, it's like delicious, right? It's the same with those offers where it's like, oh, 7% HELOC. Yeah, that's okay. Like I've seen that before. Now, what if they did? So imagine if the HELOCs, like let's say that they sat down at the bank and they figured out, okay, we make most of our money on a HELOC year 2, not year 1. And we allowed people to do interest only and all this other kind of stuff. So what if they figured out that, hey, let's do a HELOC. It's 2%, okay? 2% for the first year. Then it's 8% for year 2 and year 3, okay? So it ends up being the same amount of money or something, right? They figure out the math. But it's way less upfront and it's more on the back end, okay? Here's what would happen, okay? If they advertise that, people, and they could just say, HELOC, 2%. And they could have a little asterisk there, terms and conditions, this much year, whatever, all that stuff, right? What would happen to their bank lobby if they had a huge billboard that said, HELOC's 2%? There'd be a line out the door of people who are like, oh my gosh, that's a freaking amazing rate. I've never seen 2%, everywhere else is 7%. This is incredible, right? The promotion would drive people to their door. A ton of businesses miss this, especially B2B companies, I've noticed. They don't do promotions. Okay? And they're like, well, we don't want to discount and not make profit on the deals, which I totally understand. This is not designed to be a discount, okay? A promotion is designed to be a temporary marketing expense that you spend to get new customers in the door so that those new customers can then buy from your upsells, buy from your downsells, buy from all of your other products, right? And get in your system, okay? It's the temporary, I lose 75% of the monthly rate, and it's a marketing expense, okay? I spent $15 on marketing to get a new tanning customer at $19.99 who's gonna be on for 8 months on the credit card, and they're never gonna come, so it's gonna be pure profit, minus the 3% fees you pay Amex or whatever, right? Okay, you guys with me so far? You're watching, so you can't say, but put something in the comments if you're with me, okay? All right, so promotions. So here's what I want to encourage you guys to think about with promotions. Don't think of promotions as, I'm going to make money on these. You're probably not. You're probably going to lose money. It's going to cost you money on the promotion, but it gets people in the door, okay? So you guys have probably heard the old joke, like, we'll lose 10 cents on every t-shirt, but we'll make it up in volume, right? It's like, if you lose money on every sale, you don't make it up. But if you lose money on the t-shirt, right, but then you make a ton of money on the TV, right, then it works, okay? So Walmart does this too. Walmart puts the milk and bread and cheese and eggs in the very back, so people have to walk all the way through the store because their margins on like milk and bread and eggs are really low, but their margins on clothes and baby formula and baby food and diapers and TVs and bakery goods and all the stuff you have to walk past, you're like, oh, okay, I want this and I want this, and then eventually you have like a handful. They make money on all that stuff, but if they put the milk and cheese and bread at the very front, people would just buy those, leave, they wouldn't actually make money. So retailers have been doing this for a long time, okay? For your guys' business, what I want to encourage you to do is this, for promotion. What could I offer that would make my phone ring off the hook, okay? What's something that people couldn't believe it's that price or it's that good? Oh my gosh, that's an insanely good offer, okay? How good could you make it? One thing I've heard in business is you can't ever offer too much value. No one ever complained for getting too much value, okay? In today's world of social media and podcasts and everything online, so much is given away for free because there's no larger discount than free, right? That's the ultimate 100% discount. But people give it away for free because it builds trust. And then once you build trust and you get into the audience, then they want to buy from you, okay? What could you give away, not for free, but at a really discounted rate that could get people interested? I'll give you a couple ideas of what Helium's doing. So for Helium, right, we have, so if we manage a client's account, so we'll do like SEO, we'll do paid ads, okay? We're a service-based business, right? So typical service businesses run at like a 20% profit margin, okay? So let's say that it costs me $2,000 a month, okay, to run someone's ads. That's the physical cost to Helium, okay? So it physically costs me $2,000. We're running a promotion right now. For $30, we'll run your ads for 30 days, okay? Why are we doing that? We will lose $1,970, right? Did I do my math right? $1,970? Yes, okay. So we'll lose money on this, okay? Why? Well, my customer acquisition cost, right? Assuming that my what's known as customer acquisition cost or CAC, okay? Assuming my CAC is $2,000, I'm actually going to make $30 more than my CAC. I actually come out ahead for my customer acquisition cost on this because if I'm expecting to spend $2,000 in ads, commissions, website fees, whatever, to get a new customer in, and I offer this to somebody and they pay me $30, they come in as a new potential customer, which I can now upsell, I can now sell other products, I can get on a retainer, all that kind of stuff. And the $2,000 discount is just a marketing expense. It's just like if I paid on ads. But now I only, we're getting people to sign up with this on $5 worth of ads because it's such a good deal. Then it gets them in the funnel, right? Then we do this for the first month. What happens the second month? They're like, wow, you guys are really good at ads. We really like that. The account manager is really good. Great. Well, sign up for our retainer, right? That's $2,000 a month. And now we're going to manage your ads. And our average client is with us for 36 months. Okay. So that's $72,000, right? It's worth spending the $2,000. So this is an example of a promotion where I'm going to lose money on the promo because I know the numbers. The two numbers you really have to know is LTGP and CAC, okay? This stands for lifetime gross profit. This stands for customer acquisition cost. What you want is your LTGP to CAC to be at least 3-to-1, okay? That means for every dollar you spend on advertising, marketing, if you can drive $3 in gross profit, you're gonna be fine. Your marketing is gonna work, you're gonna be good, okay? So just think about your promotions, and we can help you with this, but think about your promotions in terms of this is a customer acquisition cost, right? And as long as I can generate at least $3 in lifetime gross profit from the client who comes in on that promotion, I'm good to go. So in this example, okay, let's say there's $72,000, right? And we can do the math and we say that there's $20,000 in gross profit, okay? And that's, in this case, it would be $20K in gross profit. My customer acquisition cost was $1,970, right? Okay, so let's call that 2,000. I'm at about 10 to 1. Okay, so it's fine. So the promotion is like, that's a crazy good price. Yeah, but it works out because my lifetime gross profit and how long people stay customers and all that. Okay, so this one I'm taking a lot of extra time here, guys, because this is the one most businesses don't do well. They don't know how to run promotions. If you look at really, really good product companies, the P&Gs, Kroger's, these kind of ones, they're very, very good at price and promotion. They know how they can price things. They even like during COVID and now after COVID, they'll actually decrease the size of the box to keep the price the same. They just give you less of the thing because the price is so important. People are so price sensitive. They'll just decrease the size of the box, right? And people don't really know, but the price is too important. So if you look at really good retailers, they're always doing this stuff. Look at some of the companies that you buy from a lot, like really good brands. Like I really like Gymshark, for example, right? If you look at Gymshark and I look at their costs, they're running promotions. They're gonna be doing Father's Day promotions. They're gonna be doing Christmas promotions. Those promotions, they've thought through this. They probably lose money on them, right? But then they make it up because I end up buying a bunch of extra stuff, okay? Super important one. All right, let's talk number 4. Corey, we gotta find a better, like a little squeegee, like, if you're watching this and you're an inventor, please create a squeegee that you can just like drag, like the big little racer. What are those things called? Little Etch-a-Sketches. Yeah, I need like an Etch-a-Sketch. Somebody please invent that. I'll fund it. We'll go in together. All right. Number 4, placement. Okay. You got price, you got product, you got promotion, you got placement. Okay. Placement is both where you place the product, okay? So you're a retailer, you have a drink, right? Are you putting it on end caps? Are you putting it in the coolers when you first walk in? Are you just selling it online, like where you place the product, okay? This could also be placement of the ads, okay? So let's say you sell a service, right? You repair commercial air conditioners, right? There's no placement of a product, it's a service, okay? This could be where you place the ads, okay? So this is either placement of product, where you physically put the product, or where you place your ads. Okay. All right. I want to talk about a couple things here. Number 1, there's a really good book called Traction. It's by the guy one of the founders of DuckDuckGo, Gabriel Weinberg. Yeah, Gabriel Weinberg, I think. Yeah, we can put a link, or we can put that up here on the screen. It's like a yellow book, it's Traction. In it, he talks about there's 23 traction channels, like newspaper, radio, print, social media, SEO, SEM, trade shows. Like there's all these different ones. Okay. These are all the places that you can basically market and advertise and get business from. Here's what he recommends in the book. I still recommend this to this day. It's really good advice. Look at your biggest competitors, okay? Like, so if you're a $3 million online clothing company, okay? Go look at the 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million, but also look at the like 100 million, the 300 million, okay? Go see what Gymshark is doing. Go see what Lululemon is doing. Also go see what the $10 million retailer is doing, and go look at their channels and see where they're placing their ads. Are they on Meta? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on, where are they at? Are they doing SEO? Are they doing SEM? Are they doing TV? Are they doing, right, connected TV? Especially the big brands, right? So if you sell golf clubs, you're gonna want to see what TaylorMade's doing or Callaway's doing, because they're so big, they have a lot of money, they're not dumb, okay? They're only running ads in certain places if they're getting a really good return on ad spend and really good return on investment. There's no way that the media buyers are not paying attention to this, okay? There's no way. I've been in this world long enough to know that they care. They're paying attention to this. So if they're running ads on TV, it's because TV ads work for their business, okay? The question you need to ask yourself is why? Why is TV working for them? Why is that the buyer, okay? We can have, it's not the point of this video to go into that whole thing about how to think about the digital watering holes and where people spend on time online and all that. But let's just back up to the main idea of these traction channels. If Callaway is in golf magazines, they're on TV, and they're on social, that's probably where you need to be too, okay? They're placing their ads there because those ads are working and driving revenue, and that matches their advertising strategy. So the first thing to do is look at your competitors, okay? Competitors, okay? Look at your competitors and go see where they're running all their ads, okay? Number 2 is think about this. There are 2 types of ads. There's awareness marketing, right? So a TV ad may not drive more people to buy golf clubs, but it drives the Callaway name. If you're a bigger brand, you need awareness. Just people know who you are, okay? If you're a small brand, you probably can't pay for awareness yet, so I probably wouldn't start with radio, TV, or print, because that's only awareness marketing. It doesn't lead to direct leads, okay? Then there's your low funnel, what we call direct response. Direct response, okay? Direct response, this is, you show up in Google, you go to Google and you search like plumber near me, and you got a GLSA, a Google Local Service ad, or a map ad, or you're in the organic. That's direct response. It's immediate placement. They take action, right? Drives leads, okay? This would also be Lululemon running Instagram ads for new yoga pants, and people see them and they're like, oh, and they click, they go to the Shopify store and they immediately buy them, okay? Though they're running really low funnel ads to qualified buyers who are gonna take direct action. The smaller you are, the more you wanna focus here. You want your ad placements to be as much direct response as you can possibly get. The bigger you get, you'll run out of dollars you can spend on direct response, and you'll need to move up into awareness, okay? So placement's the last one. Then we'll get into the bonus one. All right, if you need help with ad placement conversations, like that's a longer conversation we'd have to have with specialists based on what you guys are doing, but feel free to reach out to us. We can have that conversation if you want to. All right, here's the last one. So there's a book written by a guy named Seth Godin, Purple Cow. So Seth Godin wrote this book called Purple Cow. We'll put it up on the screen. And in the book, he talked about the best brands. They are truly remarkable. They're truly different than everybody else, right? Go back to the Tesla example, right? Love them or hate them, Tesla is unique. They're a very unique company. They build really cool looking EVs. Personally, I think the Cybertruck looks ridiculous. My son loves it and thinks it's the coolest thing ever, but I think the Cybertruck's like pretty crazy looking. But it's polarizing. People either love it or they hate it, right? But he has something that's remarkable. Elon Musk does things that are very out there, trying to go to Mars, right? So it's different, it's remarkable, it's newsworthy, okay? So many companies try not to stand out. They try to be like everybody else. They're like, oh, my plumbing ads and my plumbing, I want to copy everybody else. But then you're not remarkable, you just look the same as everybody else, so nobody knows what's different, right? If you remember Dollar Shave Club and why they did so well, his first ad was hilarious. At the time, it was groundbreaking. The guy worked in media and he knew what made funny ads. He made this amazing ad, and Dollar Shave Club was like, for $1 a month, we'll send you brand new razors in the mail. And I was like, oh, frick, I have to go to Walgreens and there's like the Gillettes and they're like locked in the case, so you have to go find a lady and they think you're trying to steal stuff and it's awkward, and it was a huge hassle. And they just mail you one to your door for $1. Unbelievably good business model, totally different, remarkable. So here's what you want to think about. Would people share my product with anybody else because of how different and good it was? Or is it back to the milquetoast? It's pretty much same old, okay? So we add this one to the list because if you get your MBA, the 4 Ps of marketing: price, placement, promotion, product, but we add purple to it. How can you make your business different? How can you make it really stand out? This can be things like unique processes, who you hire, right? So maybe there's a company, our headquarters are here in Cincinnati. There's a pizza shop that only hires people who have been to prison who are trying to get back into society. So their whole model is they give people second chances. People love that. They're like, that's awesome. And they support the mission. And so they've done really well because that's their whole thing, right? There are B corporations where, like Tom's Shoes, right? Where when you buy shoes, they give shoes away for free to people who need shoes, right? Or feed bags. All these different businesses that are literally built on causes, those do extremely well because they're unique and different and they're remarkable. It's not just a bag company that makes handbags that are really expensive and really overpriced. That's debatable, but I think they're really overpriced. Like $4,000 for a bag is like insane. But hey, whatever, I'm not the ideal buyer, I guess. Okay. What can you do to your business to stand out and not be the same? Okay, so my encouragement here is if everybody else in your industry is doing it, it's probably the wrong thing to do. You probably want to do something different just for the sake of being different. A really good example in the roofing space I've seen is men in kilts roofing. Have you guys ever seen the men in kilts power washing and men in kilts roofing? Okay, I'm not Scottish. Well, I mean, I think I have some Scottish in my, yeah, okay, I think back in there somewhere, whatever. Okay. I think under the kilt, you're just supposed to wear the kilt, right? I don't think there's any underwear. It's probably a very big disadvantage to be on a roof in just a kilt. You get my drift, right? Like Mrs. Homeowner comes out and she's like, hey, John, can you, oh, my eyes. You don't really probably want people only wearing kilts on your roof, okay? The idea in of itself is like, wow, that is a terrible idea. But why do they do it? They do it because it's different and it's remarkable and it's unique. There's no advantage to wearing a kilt and being on a roof. Like there's zero advantage to that one bit, but it's different, okay? When the human brain looks at stuff and we see like, oh, apple, 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 grapefruit, right? Our brains are triggered to see pattern recognition and then something different. Same, different, right? Different stands out, it's remarkable. So whether you want to do plumbers in kilts, maybe that's the new thing, right? Or servers in kilts. At our restaurant, every server is wearing a kilt. They only wear kilts. I don't know. Well, take that up with your attorney. Some different ideas. If that goes viral, send me a check. The idea is you want to do something that's really different and really, really unique. When we started Helium, we had the same idea. We said, hey, we're only going to do SEO. We're only going to do month to month. Everyone else requires 12-month contracts. We're going to make it totally different. We're going to do only SEO. We're not going to do paid ads, and we're literally going to do it in just Cincinnati. And we're going to do month to month, and it's super unique, and that's in our space, right? And we've always tried to change and be unique with something that's remarkable that people talk about because it's different. Okay. All right. So those are the 5 P's of marketing. What are some takeaways, and where can you go from here? Number 1. If this is something where it's like, man, I need more help with this. This was helpful, but I need more. Helium actually has a consulting product we can do. We can meet with you and walk you through some of our experts. We have veteran marketers here who have been doing marketing for 20 years. We can sit down and actually talk about for your business, the price, the product, the promotion, the placement, the purple. How do you get that stuff right? What are the things to do? What are the challenges in your industry? If that's something you're interested in, just click the link below. We'd be happy to set that up and schedule that with you. It's extremely valuable and worth the money. And if you're unhappy with the results, we'll be happy to offer you a refund. We want you to be happy with the results. We're happy to guarantee those. If it's if you don't think it's valuable, we don't want you to pay. The second thing that we can do for you is if there are some of these you guys want us to go deeper in, put this in the comments below. I can actually do individual videos on these topics and go much deeper. But I wanted to start with this video, which is this high level overview, because I believed a lot of people don't understand what the 4 Ps or the 5 Ps of go-to-market are. They're not getting these things right. So what's happening is you're spending money on SEO, you're spending money on paid ads, you're sending your dollars out there, and they're not driving a return because you're the tanning guy who's saying $19.99 unlimited tanning, and everybody else is saying that, and it's just not working, and your tanning beds are empty. You need to be running promotions, placing your ads in the right place, making sure your price is correct, making sure your promotional price is correct, and your main price is correct, and what makes you truly different and unique, and that needs to be in your copy. So all of this has to inform your ad strategy before you just start running ads. Because if you hire Helium and we run ads and you don't have any of the rest of that, it's not going to work because people aren't going to care. Guys, I hope that's really helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's more stuff I can add to the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.